How's it going, everyone? It is me, Stateside, here with a new video. We're going to be taking a look at Arsenal's current squad. Obviously, we've already made the signing of Urian Timber, Declan Rice, as well as Kai Havertz. We're going to be taking a look at the squad, who needs to go, who needs to stay, so on and so forth. Just kind of a recap of Arsenal's transfer window so far, seeing who I think needs to be out the door, who I think can stick around, who I think has a place, and who doesn't have a place, to be quite honest with you. But we're going to go ahead, we're going to take a look at the squad starting now. First player we're going to look at, we're going to go, first of all, let me explain. We're going to go in alphabetical order. So, obviously, A through Z. Starting off with Florian Balogun, the American striker. I think he has a place at Arsenal. I think he should be a part of Arteta's plans. Obviously, maybe a little bit of American bias there, picking him to be in that team as a keep. I think he's a fringe player at the moment. I think he still has to prove himself, truly get minutes at Arsenal, but I do think he deserves minutes as a part of Arsenal in the future. As for Cedric, I think that he is a sell, and if you can't sell him, just contract exit, loan him out and contract exit at the end of the season. I think, though, if you can sell him for, a few million here, you try to get it, but I don't think we're going to be able to get much for him. I do see him leaving on a contract exit, but if I'm Arsenal's front office right now, I'm trying to sell him and get a fee for him. Mohamed El-Neni, a player that's been dealing with injuries, contract again expires next year, but I don't see it being possible for Arsenal to get a fee. The 31-year-old Egyptian got injured about halfway through last season, made it impossible to really do what we needed in our midfield to kind of rotate things, but I do think he's a player that needs to go ahead and move on from Arsenal. But he's going to have one more year with Arsenal, and I think that he will be able to play some sort of role in the domestic cups. Up next, Gabriel is an easy keep for me, the Brazilian, arguably one of the best center backs, arguably the most underrated center back in the Premier League right now. I do think he's very good. I do think some of our fans rate him properly, though, so I didn't put him in my underrated 11 when I did that video a few weeks ago. But Gabriel with a shout for keep, obviously. Kai Havertz, obviously, we just bought him. I think it's an excellent signing. He's going to be a keep as well. I think he's the only new signing, if I'm looking through here. He's the only new signing on this list, so we're not really even worried about that. Kai Havertz in the team. Up next, we have Karl Hein. I say go ahead and loan him out. I say go ahead and let him get minutes. Can't remember quite how old he is. Trying to check over here to the right real quick how old he is. Don't actually see an age for him, but we'll go ahead and loan him out. His contract may actually be ending here pretty soon. I'm not 100% sure or certain on that. As for Rob Holding, try to sell him. I've seen that there's some interest from some clubs. Hopefully we can get a fee for him. Hopefully we can get a few, $5 million for him. That would be excellent business by Arsenal just to get a few million for him rather than having to sit him on your bench for a full year, or even worse, not even register him. Up next, we have Gabriel Jesus, obviously another keep there. Obviously injuries plagued his season this year. I think he would have been much, much better for Arsenal had he stayed healthy, maintained that form that he had throughout the beginning of the season. But obviously the injury kind of hindered his season over the course of the last 2-3 months of the season. You could see his injury had an effect on him, I think, and his explosiveness that he had at the beginning of the season. Moving along, Jorginho. I do see Jorginho sticking around for this year, but I do see him leaving next season as a free agent. He's done. He came in, he did what we needed him to do. I think he's done an excellent job doing what we needed. I see him moving back to Italy in a few months, in 9 months, 10 months, I guess. Actually, June 30th, that'd make it 11 months. I see him sticking around for another year at Arsenal, doing what we need, kind of being a player that fills gaps in the 6 or the 8 role. I think he's done a great job for us, really creative, kind of a deep line, he is a deep line playmaker that really gave us a lot, offered us a lot of opportunities in the midfield to kind of rotate party when El-Neni went down. Jacob Kivior, I believe it's pronounced. I'm keeping him as well. I think he's another player that deserves minutes for Arsenal. I think he's did an excellent job when we needed to come in and play that right center back role next to Gabriel and obviously help out there. I think he's been playing left back in preseason from what I've seen. I think that's going to be very helpful to us defensively, offering a more defensive option from Zinchenko. Obviously, it hurt us a few times seeing Zinchenko not really having the quality to defend that we may have needed from other options. Up next is Sambi Lokonga. I say sell him. If you can get a fee from a Burnley or I don't think Crystal Palace want him back, but I do think if we can get a fee from Burnley for him, I think that would be good. I know Vincent Kompany really likes him. I do think he's a player that we could possibly get 25 million for, and kind of it would be a very good bit of business there. Marquinhos, I think, needs to be loaned out once again. He's in the preseason squad, and I think that's going to hurt him getting minutes wherever we do choose to loan him, but I do think he needs to be moved on for another loan opportunity. He's still only, 19 years old, I believe. I'm trying to scroll down as I'm speaking to you right now. I can't actually see him either on this list. Weird. But Marquinhos needs to be loaned out as well. Gabriel Martinelli, easy keep. Reece Nelson obviously just signed a new extension, so we're keeping him as well. Two really good wingers. Obviously, Martinelli. I think Martinelli's ceiling is probably one of the highest at Arsenal right now. I think he needs to hit. If he hits that ceiling, he is going to be world class. I think he's just on the fringe of that right now. Obviously, difficult for him to break into that Brazil squad. That's very, very just chock full of talent in those wing positions specifically. I'm selling Eddie Nketiah. I think Nketiah is not really that great. I know he's been an excellent servant to the club. I'm keeping Balogun and Havertz and Jesus. I think Nketiah is a player we can get a fee for. Maybe be a little bit easier to sell. I know West Ham's been looking at Nketiah. I think Balogun offers a lot, but I think a lot of people see Balogun as a risk, whereas Nketiah, people see, okay, he's done it at Arsenal. He's scored goals for Arsenal. I think going forward, he will be an easier sell than a player like Florian Balogun. Up next, we have Martin Odegaard. Obviously, the captain. He's going to be an easy keep. I think Declan Rice could challenge him for that captain position over the next season or two. I think both of them are excellent leaders will be excellent leaders for Arsenal. I think that definitely Martin Odegaard sticks with Arsenal. I think he likes it there. From what I've seen in interviews and things like that, Odegaard is a big fan of Arsenal. Not as a fan, but like as a player, he likes being there. And I see him sticking around for the next few seasons. Okonkwo, I'm going to say loan him out. I don't really know much about him. I'm not going to pretend I do. I think it's probably a good idea to get him some minutes elsewhere, though, as a goalkeeper. Up next, we're going to take a look at Thomas Partey. I am going to wait to do him. I'm going to see what the team looks like as I fill this out. Partey can wait a little bit. Nicholas Pepe, I think, sell. Ramsdale, easy keep, as well as Runnerson being a contract exit next year. I think runner Alex Runarsson. He was on loan last year. I say just let him stick it out as our third string keeper. Might as well. Or you can reverse it. You Carl Hein and Runnerson you loan out. And actually, this may be how I do it. Carl Hein can be our backup at our third string, and then Runnerson can be loaned out for another year. Bukayo Saka, obviously, we're keeping the star boy. William Saliba, keeping him arguably best defender in the league again. Emil Smith-Rowe, a player that could be moved on if needed. I'm not sure about this one. I think we keep Emil Smith-Rowe. I know he's got quite a few. He's got a contract until 2026. If you decide to sell him next season, he's still got 2 years on his contract, and it's a good idea to sell him then. But I do think go ahead and keep him for another season. See if you can develop him into that 8 that I've been seeing rumored he's been training as. Tavares, sell. Tierney, keep. Tomiyasu, keep. Easy picks there. Trossard. I think Trossard's last kind of little bit longer contract. So I'm going to go ahead and keep him as well as an option. Trusty, I'm going to go ahead and sell him again. Matt Turner, we're going to go ahead and sell. And then Fabio Vieira, keep. Ben White, keep. Granit Xhaka's obviously already been sold. Zinchenko, keep. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 players. We got 20 with Rice, 21 with Timber. I'm going to say we keep him. So that puts us at 22. And I think 22 is going to be 23 in that 23-man squad is going to be Ethan Nwaneri. I think he's going to come up from the academy, and that's going to be our 23rd man for the Arsenal squad. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.